I couldn't find any organizations that were doing that one-on-one work with women. And so someone asked me, well, why don't you just start your own business doing it then? And I was like, oh, I don't know, why not?
Maggie Germano is a feminist and financial coach for women. Today, she's sharing a little about finances, empowerment, freedom, but first, what inspired her to start her own business?
Well, I was looking for something different than what I was doing. I was really unhappy with my work. And so the more that I was looking into the different possible things that I could be doing, the more I realized that what I wanted to be doing, I wasn't finding anywhere else. I wanted to be working with women one-on-one to help them improve their relationship with their money and improve their financial situation. And I couldn't find any organizations that were doing that one-on-one work with women. And so someone asked me, well, why don't you just start your own business doing it then? And I was like, oh, I don't know, why not? Like, it had never occurred to me to start my own business. My aunt is a hairdresser that owns her own shop, but other than that, I never knew any other entrepreneurs until a few years ago when I started meeting other women who were running their own businesses. And so that put that light bulb in my head and made me realize that in order to do the work I wanted to be doing, I had to start it myself. Entrepreneurship is a lot more difficult than I guess I assumed it would be. And again, I didn't know very much about it when I first started. And so it's tricky because you don't have anyone else telling you what to do. When you run your own business, it's all up to you to be motivated and get your work done and set goals for yourself. And that's something that I am still kind of struggling with, like creating those bigger goals and then working towards them on a day-to-day basis and not getting really stuck in the minute, small, like busy work every day. And it's it's important to keep myself from being isolated. That was something that I wasn't really aware that would happen. That being in an office with other people all day, even if you're not talking to them all day, you're still around other people, so you're not feeling as alone. Getting myself involved in other women's entrepreneur groups and other opportunities like that that get me out of the house and interacting with other people who are struggling with the same kinds of things. That's was a struggle that I've now kind of figured out how to kind of manage that. As a financial coach, I'm sure you can understand that financial stability is very important to me. And when you're an entrepreneur, you don't always know how much money is going to be coming in or where it's going to be coming from. Things change from month to month. And so getting not used to, but like a little more comfortable with that uncertainty has been a struggle, but it's something that's important. Like I can't be overwhelmed and stressed by it all the time, or I wouldn't want to do the work anymore. And I'm very lucky to have a partner who has a salary and a good job, who we don't have to worry too much when it comes to my income. But as someone who feels very passionate about being being able to support myself and bringing in money and being successful in that kind of way, it's taken a lot of coaching myself in order to get myself a little more comfortable with that uncertainty. Freedom to me is being able to make my own choices. So, one of the things that was so frustrating to me working a 9 to 5 job was that even if I didn't have work to do, I had to sit at my desk and be there the whole day. It just felt like a huge waste of time. And so, being able to run my own business, one of the important things to me was having the freedom to set my own hours. I can sleep in and still get plenty of work done during the day. I can take time in the middle of the day to go to the gym and not feel bad or worry about it. If I've finished my client work for the day, I can be done working for the day and not feel bad about it and not worry about getting in trouble. So that kind of freedom of being able to make my own choices was really, really important to me. And that's something that I want to offer to my clients as well. So I think the connection between finances and freedom, there's kind of a few different things there. So on one hand, if you're not feeling so stressed and overwhelmed by your money and really locked down by the limitations of your money, then you're going to feel a lot more free in your day-to-day life. If you're not worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to pay your rent at the end of the month or whether you'll be able to go out to dinner with your friend this week, you'll actually just be able to be more comfortable and feel more free as you're going about your life, when you're making those day-to-day decisions. But it's also connected to something much bigger. So having that financial stability and being able to just do the big things that you want to do in your life, where it is, not being bogged down by your credit card debt or your student loan debt so that you feel like you'll never be able to buy a house or you'll never be able to start a family or get married. Those are the kinds of things that a lot of people are feeling held back by, right? So like being held back by your finances limits what you're able to do in your life, not just on the day-to-day, but in the broader scale, and being able to go after your big life goals. So, in our society right now, money is a huge tool for any kind of power. If you have money, you're going to be able to do the things that you want to do. If you have money, you're going to have more opportunities. And so, if women have more access to money, they'll have more access to power, both in their own lives and then also in society. And just being empowered to make your own decisions so that you're not relying on a partner or relying on a family member or staying in something that makes you feel stuck and makes you feel like you can't move forward. So those are the kinds of things, both big and small, that are really important to me. So the first step in getting your money right is to just understand what is there. And so figuring out what's coming in, what's going out, and then deciding from there if you need to make any changes. So a lot of people don't necessarily know what their actual monthly income is after taxes, and they often don't know how much they're actually spending. So sitting down and looking through your numbers and putting it all either on paper or in a spreadsheet so that you understand really deeply what your numbers look like and how much you're actually working with. The second tip that I would give is to actually start tracking your spending on a regular basis. So a lot of people, they'll set a monthly budget and they will look at it maybe once for the month, and then they won't look at it again until next month. And that's if they have a budget, right? If you really want to be on top of your spending and be able to stay within budget and not go over, you're going to have to sit down at least once a week to make sure that you understand exactly how much you're spending, where it's going, and how that actually relates to how much money you have allotted for the month. My third tip would be to just talk about money. So money is still considered a taboo in our society. It's not polite. It's rude to talk about. People get uncomfortable. But I think it's really important to talk about money, because the more you talk to your friends and your loved ones about money, the less alone you'll feel and the less alone they'll feel. And you can start learning how to support each other. You can learn about the goals that they're setting, and they can learn about the goals that you're setting, so that you can join up together to be accountability partners. So talking as much as possible about money. So to me, living life on your own terms is really being true to who you are and what your values are. And and I don't think that that means being able to do whatever you want anytime you want, because we're grown-ups who live in this world. We often have to do things we don't want to do. But as long as we're doing the kinds of things that align with who we truly are and what we care about the most, I think that we're living life on our terms, whether that is doing work that impacts the things that we care about, spending our money on things that we value the most, spending time with people that make us feel good. It's those sorts of things that I think define living life on our terms. I'm I'm doing my best. I think there's still a lot of ways that I can be living more on my own terms, whether that is incorporating more self-care, stressing out less, and doing the kinds of things that will reduce that kind of stress and anxiety. But in terms of doing work that I care about, that's absolutely happening. Spending time with people who make me feel good, that's been something that's been really important in the last few years of my life, is making sure I'm spending time with people that inspire me and make me happy, and that don't, stress me out to be around. And putting money again towards the things that I really care about. That's something that's been really important to me as I've been getting older and making big life changes, like buying a house and getting married, and those sorts of things. Those are the kinds of things that I really try to do my best with.
This was my first interview for Doers project, and it happened in spring 2019 actually. Thank you, Maggie, for opening your home and sharing your story and mission with us. Go to maggiegermano.com to learn more.